Have you ever looked at the world around you and felt a chill of unease, a nagging question in your soul? Is humanity inherently flawed? Do we deserve a second chance? Or are we destined to repeat our mistakes until divine judgment intervenes? What if, in ancient times, the answer to that question was a resounding, terrifying yes? What if, amidst a world spiraling into corruption, one man dared to believe in a divine warning, a promise of both judgment and salvation? This is the story of Noah, a tale not just of a flood, but of the enduring power of faith in the face of overwhelming darkness, a testament to God's unwavering mercy and the profound responsibility of human choice. If you're already questioning the path humanity is on, then this story of faith and judgment will resonate deeply. Don't miss a single moment of this incredible journey. Hit that like button and subscribe now to follow Noah's path to salvation, and share this video with someone who needs to hear this powerful message. Your engagement helps us spread God's word to a world that desperately needs it. In a world consumed by shadows, where laughter often held a bitter edge and kindness was a whispered memory, lived Noah. He walked among his people, yet felt a chasm wider than any ocean separating him from their hurried pursuits, their endless squabbles, their forgotten souls. The earth groaned under the weight of human depravity. Violence was rampant, not just in open conflict, but in the casual cruelty of everyday interactions. Justice was a forgotten word, replaced by the whims of the powerful. Families were fractured, communities dissolved into self-interest, and the sacred bonds of life were severed with reckless abandon. Each day, the sun rose over a landscape increasingly scarred, not by nature's whims, but by humanity's indifference. He remembered a child, no older than his youngest, weeping silently by a discarded meal, ignored by the bustling crowd. Or the ancient oak, once a symbol of life, now felled for a fleeting gain, its mighty branches lying broken like forgotten promises. A profound loneliness, a quiet despair, settled deep within his bones. He yearned for purity, for a world where hearts were open, where the simple beauty of existence was cherished, not trampled. He would often gaze at the vast, indifferent sky, not with anger, but with a silent, desperate plea. A plea for a sign, a whisper of hope that goodness still existed, that the world hadn't entirely lost its way. Then, one twilight, as the last rays of sun bled across the horizon, painting the clouds in hues of judgment and grace, a voice resonated within him. It wasn't a sound heard by the ear, but a profound, undeniable truth that echoed through the very core of his being. It was the voice of the Creator, clear and sorrowful, yet imbued with an unwavering resolve. The world, the voice lamented, was steeped in corruption, its heart hardened beyond redemption. A great cleansing was at hand. But amidst the darkness, Noah, for his righteous heart, for his quiet yearning for truth, had found favor. He was chosen to build an ark, a vessel of salvation, a sanctuary for life itself. The sheer magnitude of the task was staggering, a monumental undertaking that would demand every ounce of his strength, his resolve, and his unwavering faith. Noah trembled. The weight of such a task, such a divine trust, was almost unbearable. Doubt, cold and sharp, pricked at his resolve. Who was he, a simple man, to undertake such a monumental feat? How could he, who felt so isolated, convince others of this impending doom? Yet, beneath the fear, a new feeling stirred, a warmth, a sense of profound connection, a purpose that lifted him from the depths of his solitude. He was no longer just Noah, the lonely observer. He was Noah, the chosen, the steward of a sacred promise. He shared the impossible truth with his wife and sons, their faces a mixture of disbelief and dawning awe. It was a leap of faith for them, too, a radical departure from everything they knew. But in his conviction, they found their own fragile hope. They understood, in their hearts, that this was not a mere suggestion, but a divine imperative, a final chance for life to endure. Years bled into decades. The colossal frame of the ark rose slowly from the earth, a testament to unwavering faith and relentless toil. Every plank, every beam, every joint was a prayer, a silent declaration against the tide of cynicism that surrounded them. The sun beat down mercilessly. The rains turned the ground to mud, but Noah and his family worked, their hands calloused, their bodies aching, their spirits fueled by an unseen fire. The sheer scale of the vessel was beyond anything humanity ever conceived, a floating city designed to house every living creature. Day after day, they hammered, sawed, and sealed, each action a defiant act of belief against a world that mocked their every effort. The world watched, first with amusement, then with open scorn. Laughter, sharp and cruel, followed Noah wherever he went. "The madman builds a boat in the desert," they jeered. "A flood? The sky is clear, old fool." His neighbors, once familiar faces, now turned away, their eyes filled with pity or contempt. He was an outcast, a prophet of doom in a world determined to dance until the very last note. The loneliness returned, but it was a different kind now, a profound, isolating conviction, a burden he carried with quiet dignity, knowing that the fate of all life rested on his shoulders. Then came the animals, two by two, a silent, majestic procession. Lions and lambs, eagles and sparrows, creatures of every kind, drawn by an invisible hand, their eyes reflecting an ancient wisdom and an unspoken trust. This was a miracle, a living testament to the divine promise, yet still, the world scoffed, attributing it to chance or madness, refusing to see the undeniable truth unfolding before their very eyes. They saw coincidence where there was divine orchestration, and dismissed as folly what was, in fact, the very hand of God. The air grew heavy, thick with an unnatural stillness. The sky, once a brilliant blue, began to bruise with ominous grays and purples. A low rumble, not of thunder, but of something deeper, more primal, vibrated through the earth. The scoffers, who had so recently mocked Noah, now paused, their laughter dying on their lips, replaced by a growing unease. Their eyes darted nervously towards the darkening horizon, then back to the colossal ark, a monument to a truth they had vehemently denied. And then, the sky wept. Not a gentle shower, but a torrent, a deluge that began subtly, then intensified with terrifying speed. The laughter died on the lips of the scoffers, replaced by gasps of disbelief, then screams of panic. The earth groaned, rivers swelled, and the very foundations of their world began to crumble. The waters rose, swallowing homes, trees, and finally the desperate cries of those who had refused to listen. The great fountains of the deep burst forth, tearing open the earth, adding to the cataclysm. It was not merely rain from above, but water from below, a complete upheaval of creation. The world became a churning, chaotic maelstrom, a testament to the consequences of unchecked sin. The ark, a tiny vessel against the raging fury, began to lift, a solitary beacon of hope amidst universal despair. What would you do in Noah's place, facing such overwhelming destruction, yet holding on to an unwavering faith? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and if this story is moving you, please share it with others who need to hear this message of hope and divine justice. Your voice matters in spreading these timeless truths. Safe within the ark, sealed against the raging storm, Noah and his family huddled together. The sounds were deafening. The roar of the wind, the relentless pounding of rain, the terrifying crash of waves, and the distant heart-wrenching cries of those left behind. Noah's heart ached with a sorrow so profound it threatened to shatter him. He had warned them, pleaded with them, but they had not listened. The pain of witnessing such widespread destruction, of knowing the fate of so many, was an immense burden. He prayed, not for rescue, for they were already saved, but for mercy, for understanding, for the strength to endure this terrible cleansing. His faith, forged in the fires of ridicule and despair, now became their anchor in the tempest. Days blurred into weeks, weeks into months. The ark became their entire world, a small, fragile beacon adrift on an endless, churning ocean. The air was thick with the scent of damp wood and animal, the rhythmic creak of the timbers a constant reminder of their precarious existence. Hope flickered, sometimes strong, sometimes dim, but Noah held fast, his gaze often fixed on the single, small window, waiting for a sign, a whisper of the world beyond the deluge, a promise that the storm would one day cease. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, the rain subsided. The ark still rocked, but the furious roar of the storm softened to a mournful sigh. The vast, gray expanse of water stretched to every horizon, an ocean without end. Noah's heart, though weary, held on to the promise. He sent out a raven, a dark speck against the muted sky, but it found no resting place, a stark reminder that the earth remained submerged. It flew back and forth, a messenger of continued desolation. Then he released a dove, a tiny, pure white speck against the vast, gray expanse. It returned, exhausted, its small feet finding no purchase, a symbol of the world still hidden beneath the waters. 7 days later, he sent the dove again. This time, it returned with a fresh olive leaf clutched in its beak, a sign, a whisper of life, a promise of dry land, a beacon of hope piercing through the long night of despair. A wave of profound relief washed over Noah, bringing tears to his eyes. The covenant was being fulfilled, a testament to God's faithfulness even in the midst of his judgment. Another 7 days passed, and Noah sent the dove out one last time. It did not return, a clear indication that the waters had receded enough for it to find a new home. When the waters finally receded, and the ark settled gently upon the mountains of Ararat, a new world, pristine and silent, unfolded before their eyes. The air was fresh, clean, carrying the scent of damp earth and new beginnings. As they stepped out, their feet touching solid ground after so long, a sense of awe, of immense gratitude, filled their hearts. The world was reborn, washed clean, a blank canvas awaiting new life. The sun, breaking through the clouds, cast long golden rays across the newly revealed landscape, illuminating a world utterly transformed. The animals, one by one, emerged from the ark, blinking in the sunlight, their instincts guiding them to new pastures, new forests, new homes. And then, as if painted by the hand of the divine itself, a magnificent rainbow arched across the sky, a vibrant, shimmering bridge of colors connecting heaven and earth. It was God's promise, a covenant never to destroy the earth by flood again. For Noah, it was more than a promise. It was a testament to enduring love, to second chances, to the resilience of life itself. He looked at his family, at the animals emerging from the ark, at the vast, silent beauty of the new world, and felt a peace deeper than any he had ever known. Hope had been restored, not just for them, but for all generations to come. Noah, the lonely man who had once yearned for purity, now stood as the patriarch of a new humanity, a living bridge between the old world and the new. His journey was a testament to faith, to perseverance, and to the profound truth that even in the darkest storms, kindness and goodness, nurtured in a righteous heart, can always find a way to bloom anew, guiding humanity towards a brighter dawn. Noah's story isn't just an ancient legend. It's a timeless reminder that even when the world seems lost, faith can build a bridge to salvation. It teaches us about the consequences of our choices, the power of divine mercy, and the unwavering hope that comes from trusting in a higher purpose. It challenges us to examine our own lives, our own societies, and ask if we are living in a way that honors the sanctity of creation. Are we building arcs of hope, or contributing to the deluge of despair? If Noah's unwavering faith inspires you, if this story resonates with the hope for a better world, then let this be a sign for you too. Like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear this message of hope, and subscribe to our channel to join us on this journey of faith and discovery. Your support helps us share God's word with a world that desperately needs it, fostering understanding and inspiring change, one story at a time. Thank you for being a part of our mission.